Welcome to the Fox 54 Weekend Review. I'm Kenesha Dees. It's the only place in North Alabama to get the week's local headlines condensed into one program. Here's a taste of what's ahead. Starting off, the fallout continues after Decatur man John Daniel Scott Jr. died after a medical emergency following an arrest by Decatur police. An investigation is underway, and friends and family held a prayer vigil for Scott Thursday night. A Decatur man, John Daniel Scott Jr., has passed away at Huntsville Hospital after being arrested by Decatur police exactly a week ago. His mother announced his death early this morning on Facebook. The post has garnered hundreds of comments, likes, and shares as members of the Decatur community mourn his loss. But several people also issuing concern over the state of DPD and their relations with the community. Let's break down how we got here. Problems between the Decatur Police Department and the community most recently goes back to September 29th of 2023. It's when a Decatur resident, Steve Perkins, was shot and killed by Decatur police officer Mac Marquette during a truck repossession dispute gone wrong. That former officer, now charged with murder, and his trial set for June of this year. Several protests and tense city council meetings later, the city of Decatur hired a third party to review DPD and its relations with the community. In late January, that third-party review was released. It pointed to areas of concern within the department, noting that officers don't always treat the public with empathy, and some complaints haven't been thoroughly investigated. In February, former Chief of Police Todd Pinion announced he would be stepping down, citing the need to remove what he described as a, quote, excuse, hindering the city's progress following intense public criticism of the department. Later that month, the city named Natus Carlisle Jr. as its interim chief of police. Carlisle says he will not follow a permanent position with the department, and the city is currently working to establish a permanent chief. And that brings us to the present with the arrest of Scott. Decatur police say Scott had pre-existing health struggles, but members in the Decatur community say police violence led to his hospitalization and his death. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo joins us in the studio. Caleb, tell us everything we need to know so far about the incident.
Yeah, Kenesha, the morning started with a post from John Scott's mother, Paulette Tennyson, saying he is no longer with us. He fought a good fight. This comes just a day after members of the Decatur community said Scott was fighting for his life at Huntsville Hospital yesterday. And as recently as today, the city of Decatur responded with a release of their own, saying they're going to be conducting an investigation with state and federal authorities. Here's what we know.
2 calls went out last Tuesday to the Decatur police from Brookridge Apartments. The first call saw officers leave without incident, but the second, mayhem. Police say Scott was agitated from medical and mental health struggles and initiated, quote, passive resistance with police. After Scott refused medical treatment from EMS personnel, he was taken into custody by police for what they called an outstanding failure to appear warrant.
All because of speeding ticket, a warrant from 2021?
And Standing in Power co-founder Terrence Adkins told me yesterday the police response was unfounded.
The encroachment that was done on him while he was having a mental break was out of line, it was out of pocket, it's out of character for anyone in law enforcement to act in that way.
Scott was taken to the Morgan County Jail where he stayed for over an hour until staff noticed he was under undisclosed medical distress. Police called the Decatur Morgan EMS, who took Scott to the Decatur Morgan Hospital. He was then transferred to Huntsville Hospital for more treatment. He stayed there over the weekend and passed away early this morning, according to a post from his mother. Interim Police Chief Natus Carlisle sent out the following letter this afternoon detailing a formal investigation involving the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency and the FBI. He said, these agencies will conduct a thorough and impartial review into all circumstances surrounding Mr. Scott's detainment, medical condition, and eventual passing. Carlisle added, there are multiple factors surrounding Mr. Scott's death that may not be immediately apparent, and we believe it is in the best interest of the public and all parties involved to wait for the official determination of cause of death before drawing conclusions.
Yeah, and we'll have more information on this story as more information comes out over the next few weeks.
Thank you, Caleb. The Decatur Police Department says they will fully cooperate with Aaliyah and the FBI during the investigation. Chief Carlisle said he requested these agencies for transparency, accountability, and maintaining public trust. A prayer vigil held tonight in honor of a man who suffered a medical emergency during an arrest by the Decatur Police Department. John Daniel Scott Jr. exhibited signs of mental distress and refused medical care before officers took him into custody using a taser, physical strikes, and physical restraint. After being taken to the Morgan County Jail, Scott suffered an undisclosed health crisis and was taken to a hospital where he passed away Tuesday. Tonight, community members gathered in a prayer vigil for Scott. Our Gabe Glassman was in the room. Gabe, how is everyone feeling in the wake of this loss?
Everyone is remembering the life of John Scott Jr. differently. Friends, family, and neighbors packed into the church at Stone River, remembering his life.
We are crying out to you, Lord God, and asking you, God, to show the world that we are your children, God.
We need your presence in this city. We need your presence for this family.
An emotional night filled with prayer from those still mourning the loss of John Scott Jr., who passed away early Tuesday morning.
It was 1:36 in the morning when I got a message from Miss Paulette, his mom, and she told me, she said, "Good morning, Curtis. LJ's heart stopped beating again. He's gone."
His friends remembering why they loved him.
John was a great person. I worked with children that were considered at risk. And me being a woman, there's only so much that I can pour into young men. And John was that person that would be there to help guide them and love them and mentor them.
He wanted to see people love each other and love one another. I mean, someone said that LJ was the person that, tried to bring everybody together. He was.
In the audience Thursday night, a near capacity crowd.
It just did my heart joy to see that. It was very special. Like I said, it could have been all excuses for those that did show up not to, but they braved the weather, the elements and everything, and still came and represented.
People are hoping something like this doesn't happen again, while some hopes it sheds a light on an important issue.
He was asking for help because he was having a crisis, and all he wanted was somebody to understand.
I'm just confident in saying that his legacy will live on forever.
Friends of Scott Jr. ask whether you're connected to the family or not to pray for his family as they continue to mourn the loss. From Decatur, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
Thank you, Gabe. The Madison County Sheriff's Office was asked to lead the investigation by officials from DPD and Morgan County Sheriff's Office yesterday. In a partial statement, the Sheriff's Office, Madison County that is, tells Fox 54 that at this time there is no estimated timeline for the investigation's completion. As part of the ongoing inquiry, a comprehensive autopsy will be conducted by the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences to help determine the circumstances surrounding Mr. Scott's death. No further information will be released until the investigation has concluded and the findings have been submitted to the Morgan County District Attorney's Office for review. In the Rocket City, more growth is expected with an expansion on the FBI's presence on Redstone Arsenal. And if you're planning to fly this summer, do you have real ID? Alabama has some of the lowest compliance in the nation, which could affect your travel plans. A visit from the head of the FBI today could mean big changes for Huntsville. Director Kash Patel made a stop at Redstone Arsenal as momentum builds to bring more bureau jobs to North Alabama. It was his first ever visit to the Rocket City since his confirmation back in February. Alabama Senators Katie Britt and Tommy Tuberville have urged him to prioritize staffing at the FBI's growing Huntsville campus. Since receiving their letter, Patel has relocated more than 500 employees to the site, with plans to continue filling open positions. Our Ken McCoy explains what this could mean for the city.
Redstone Arsenal, known primarily for space and science, is now making room for something else, the future of the FBI.
Part of the move to get FBI agents and intel analysts and support staff out in the field is going to come right through Redstone Arsenal.
Director Kash Patel is touring the FBI's growing campus at Redstone Arsenal. The visit comes after a request made by Senators Tuberville and Britt back in February, asking Patel to fill 1,000 open positions at the Huntsville campus. The FBI has steadily expanded in North Alabama, and both senators are pushing for even faster growth.
We are going to put more and more and more people here on a permanent basis from the FBI. By the end of the year, we're going to have over 500 more FBI full-time employees living, not part-time, coming here, moving here, working here, living in your communities.
The FBI currently has a significant presence at Redstone Arsenal, but Tuberville and Britt say the area is poised to handle even more. They have argued that the region's workforce and infrastructure are ready to support the FBI's future growth.
Obviously, you know the capabilities that we have here. We're not only looking at current threats, we're looking at what are future threats. It is imperative that the FBI get back to doing its job, keeping Americans safe and secure. So today was a great day to get to look at where we are and where we're going to go in the future.
During Wednesday's visit, Director Patel emphasized that the expansion in Huntsville isn't just about numbers, it's about mission-critical roles. He says Redstone Arsenal is uniquely positioned to support some of the FBI's most specialized operations.
We're also talking intel analysts, support staff, and specialists. And those are all going to move here based on what the mission is. But also Redstone speaks specifically to cyber capabilities, to terrorism explosive capabilities, and certain capabilities that we just can't replicate anywhere else in the country. And so those are the types of folks we're going to bring down here.
While no official announcements were made today, Patel's comments suggest Huntsville could play an even bigger role in the FBI's future. In Huntsville, Kim McCoy, Fox 54 News.
The FBI currently employs thousands at Redstone Arsenal. Patel says the agency will continue reviewing its staffing strategy in the months ahead. Time is winding down for people to get their real ID. The identification will be required if you want to fly within the United States starting in just a couple of weeks. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman explains why most Alabama residents currently don't have a real ID.
Time is winding down for people to get their real ID, and officials say in Alabama, less than a third of people meet real ID requirements. Alabama law enforcement officials say around 70% of Alabama residents do not have a real ID. The state ranks as one of the worst in the U.S. Transportation Security Administration has been preparing for implementation at airports across the country.
What we're finding is more than likely we're going to have individuals come to the airport surprised, not realize that, oh my gosh, I don't have this. And of course that's going to add stress, that's going to add anxiety to these individuals. We have set up learning online and both in person for both real ID identification, also ensuring that we have compliance with our machines and that we're also using a good amount of our technology in ways that that is advantageous to ensure that it's the smoothest way possible.
The quote-unquote deadline to get your real ID is May 7th, but officials say they will still be dishing out those IDs after that date. From Huntsville International Airport, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
Yes, and for those who don't have a real ID, there are several other federal documents that you can use as alternatives. A full list of accepted ID forms can be found on fox54.com. Next, weeks after a tornado destroyed many homes in a mobile home park in Muscle Shoals, residents are now told to move out just as they were trying to rebuild. And what do you know about the people who keep your power on? Ark and McCoy talk with two line workers on a Line Worker Appreciation Day to learn about what they do to light the dark.
I think it's pretty messed up. There's people who've been here 40 plus years and this is their home.
A group of Muscle Shoals residents ordered to get out so that what remains of their homes can be destroyed. The city posted this warning at the Pounders Mobile Home Park. It gives 60 days for some of those trailers to be demolished. It's where we begin. The warnings posted at the mobile home park also say affected residents will not be allowed to rebuild on that property. Recent severe weather hit the Pounders community hard due to city zoning laws. Repairs were left to owners and others volunteers. But now with a 60-day notice to stop the rebuild process and get out, those affected are wondering what's next. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo was in the Shoals and spoke to city leaders to learn more.
Residents at Pounders Mobile Home Park won't be able to repair or replace the trailers that were damaged in the Muscle Shoals tornado. And these homes are also set to be demolished, according to city signs placed around the area. As for the residents who weren't affected, they're worried that they're also eventually going to be evicted too.
We know a family that had to move to Leeton. It's affecting their job to where they could possibly have to quit and transfer to a new job, or it's affecting everybody. I feel like they're going to have everybody move.
Resident Jocelyn Tarman says about 15 families at the park were displaced because their homes were destroyed. But the mayor of Muscle Shoals, Mike Lockhart, says they're the only ones going to be affected by the city order. They're not removing everyone from the park.
That's not been our intent, and that's not what we have done in any situation, unfortunately. And some of those things, they're just going to have to be relocated. We'll do anything we can to try to help navigate that process. Our biggest concern is that the residents that continue to be there are living in as safe and secure environment as they can. And that's been our primary focus.
The city also released a statement saying, "We understand the frustration and heartbreak this causes, especially for families who are still living in damaged homes or who have nowhere to go." And Mayor Lockhart added he's just thankful that everyone made it out that fateful night.
homes and clothing and materials can be replaced, but lives can't. And we're thankful that all lives were spared that Saturday night when that came through.
The rest of the repairs and cleanup are left to the property owners, but the city says it's working with community leaders and state authorities to ensure support is reaching those in need. In Muscle Shoals, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
If you still want to help out with the recovery process, donations are ongoing. There is a shipping container at the mobile home park where you can drop off goods or call a number on the site to have organizers coordinate that drop off with you. Welcome back. It's been a busy spring storm season with severe weather hitting hard across the region. And when the lights go out during a storm, most of us just have to wait and hope the power comes back quickly. But there's a dedicated group of people who don't wait. They get to work. We're talking about line workers. Today is National Line Worker Appreciation Day, and it's all about showing love to the men and women who work nonstop to keep electricity flowing to our homes and businesses. Our Ken McCoy shows us how one utility is honoring the folks who get the connections connected, no matter what the weather throws at them.
Our sound booth is where we record our voices for pieces such as this. But when nature has its way, everything can go dark. And then these guys go into action.
These jobs are 8-hour-a-day jobs that you normally work, but you also have call crews and you're always subject to call. So your day can easily go from an 8-hour day to a 16-hour day.
For more than 30 years, Stephen Williams has kept the lights on in Decatur.
I've been in this business, like I said, for over 36 years. And I'll say it again, it's not an impossible job to do. It's not possible for everybody on multiple different things.
Inclement weather, especially hurricanes and ice storms, 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. Line workers are out there doing dangerous, skilled work to keep the lights on. But the sacrifice extends further than that.
It can be taxing on people. It can be taxing on families. Because I always tell them we hire guys, your family needs to be on board with your job too, because when you walk away from an 8-hour-a-day job, you're not guaranteed just to completely walk away from it for that day.
But for Mason Cox, the last 4 years have been an adventure.
I love the outdoors. I love being outside. So I wanted to be outside every day, and this was a opportunity that I could go and be somewhere different every day and be outside.
Cox says while he enjoys the day-to-day, it isn't easy.
It's a lot of going to sleep early, and you miss a lot of things. So like, I'm in my early 20s, so there's a lot going on the weekends, and so you miss out on a lot. But I mean, it's your job. It's part of it.
8, sometimes 16 hours a day can take a toll on any team.
We're around each other 8 hours a day to 16 hours a day. Every day. I mean, yeah, we get tired of each other, but it's part of it. I mean, you get around somebody for long enough, you're gonna have your arguments and everything.
But what group of brothers don't argue?
We're real tight knit, even outside of work. So like, I don't know many workplaces, which I haven't worked a lot of places, but I don't know many workplaces where the guys would go out and hang out outside of work. But we're kind of like a family here.
And when disaster hits outside our area, these teams often hit the road, joining utilities across the southeast to restore power after a storm.
We went down to Fort Meade, Florida, and worked a hurricane down there, and it was really fun. Just because you're just constantly go. Everybody's in a good mood, having fun, getting stuff done, and I really enjoyed working that storm.
At the end of the day, it's all about serving the customers.
Even though people can get grumpy, and it's especially evident at night when you work for 6 or 8 hours and are able to get lights back on. That's the appreciation that, hey, we've done something. We've solved a problem.
I enjoy it just because it's late hours, it's trying to hurry up and get things fixed, and then after you get everything fixed, get all the power back on, you get to see how appreciative the customers are.
So if you see a utility truck out today or someone in a hard hat and a reflective vest, give them a wave or a quick thanks, because chances are they've already made your day a little easier. In Decatur, Ken McCoy, Fox 54 News.
And let's wrap up with an Easter celebration for you. Families celebrated the day with a denim cookout at the Orion Amphitheater, reviving a tradition dating back to the 60s.
An up-and-coming hospitality group hoping to revive a 60-year-old tradition in the Huntsville area. Known as Denim Sunday, it started with the black community dressing in denim every Easter to protest department stores in the 1960s. Now Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo takes us to the Orion Amphitheater to see how Lux Life Hospitality is bringing it back this Easter Sunday.
The Orion Amphitheater and Lux Entertainment put on the Denim Sunday cookout right here behind me. Hundreds of people showed up to eat, drink, dance, and play, all while listening to live music. And organizers tell me Denim Sunday was a tradition from the 1960s that they wanted to carry forward into the modern day.
Blue Jean Sunday in the past was every Easter. Black people used to boycott white department stores for, and then they wore blue jeans as part of the protest. So we just, okay, we're not protesting or anything, but we're here, like I said, promoting, working together, and just, giving people something to do on Easter because, it's not a lot of things for families to do outside of going to dinner. Once you go to church, then you come out here and just, party with your friends, essentially.
And co-founder Chris Nelson says it's all about bringing people together for an afternoon of family fun after the Easter morning church service.
It creates a family of people coming together to enjoy one common purpose, just having fun and, just loving on each other.
TJ Battles repeats a similar sentiment. For him, it's a prime time for people in the community to meet others and make new friends.
It's all about networking, it's all about building for the community, and it's all about bringing these kids together so we can do, kind of bring back old tradition way it used to be.
Lux Life Hospitality invited the Dirty Boys, a local motorcycle club with a knack for giving back. DJ Demetrius Mitchell tells me for him, that's the highlight of it all.
My bike club got to be a part of it. They asked us to come and be a part of it. So for us, we're very big in the community. We do a lot of community events, giving back, feeding. So for me, it's big that they get to be a part of it with me, alongside me while I DJs.
And since Denim Sunday was such a hit, you may start to see more local events spearheaded by Lux Life Hospitality Group. They plan on being in the community to host more events just like this one. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, FOX54 News.
Lux Life Hospitality is planning to host Denim Sunday cookout every Easter after church services with the help of the Orion Amphitheater. Admission this year was $25, and kids 12 and under got in for free.
Well, we hope you had an enjoyable Easter Sunday. Count on Fox 54 Plus to bring you more great programming with in-depth local specials, locked on sports, true crime, cooking shows, wellness experts, and continuing weather coverage. For everyone at Fox 54 News, I'm Kenesha Dees. Have a good and safe weekend.